Good afternoon, this is Rich Nelson with Allendale. Today is Tuesday, June 14th, 2011. Lower trade today across the board that was expected based on the very strong crop condition ratings USDA gave us here. Yesterday afternoon, USDA essentially told us that corn and soybean crops are now not just normal, but actually above normal for this time of year. Certainly a dramatic change in events from just 2 weeks ago when we had severe concerns, not just on acreage, but also on yield here. So obviously some lower trade would have been due for corn. Of course, they have a very big concern as far as the ethanol vote. Today, we did see the vote on ethanol subsidies. Senator Coburn of Oklahoma tried to push through a little proposal to immediately end ethanol blenders credit as well as the import tariff. And with that in mind, that acted as a cloud throughout everybody's trading here today, overhanging on psychology. Of course, we did see after the close, the vote actually did happen, and the proposal was pushed back. So with that in mind, we should see some higher rebounding trade on the corn probably here tonight. Over on the soybeans, down 14 3/4. Same thing as the corn. We've got weather being an issue here. We do have two other negative factors. NOPA crush report, as Paul mentioned this morning, certainly was disappointing. It is also still clear in our mind, at least, that we're not going to meet USDA's hopes on ethanol crush. So for the past 3 months, we've been saying that USDA still needs to recognize this problem, and we still say that it's still something that they are not recognizing yet. So that's a little bearish for soybeans. We see this afternoon, one Brazil agency, government agency, suggested that you know what, based on their projections for long term, they expect soybean production to increase 26% from this year to 10 years from now. So going from this spring's crop of 68.7 up to 86.5 million tons in 10 years. Over on the wheat, down 11 3/4. Actually, can't say the wheat fundamentals are that bad as far as today's news overall. There's still concerns about USDA's spring wheat condition estimates here. Also, we see that Egypt did buy 2 cargoes of wheat. We're happy to see that one of those cargoes went to the U.S. and one went to France. Other thing we can point out this morning, Japan came out today and said they're going to seek 259,000 tons of wheat in their regular weekly tender. Usually these regular weekly tenders are only for about 100,000 tons. So actually we can suggest that there might be some signs that these foreign buyers think that U.S. wheat is a good deal and at these lower prices is a better deal than what we perceive right now. So that's good news on this end as well. Last thing for wheat, Pilgrim's Pride, the nation's largest chicken producer, finally announced that they actually are starting to feed out some wheat in very limited quantities to their poultry flock. Of course, Pilgrim's Pride, as I said, the nation's largest chicken producer, with production ranging mostly from the south to southeast portion of the U.S. here. Over on livestock, hogs did a great job today, up $1.20 on the June contract, or on the July contract. So June expired today at noon, and July took the reins, and we're actually happy to see that the trade was not too concerned about the premium in the July. In fact, they added to that premium here. This is the highest close on the July contract since May 7th. So good deal on the hogs, good numbers to speak of. Looks like we have a little higher trade left going into the end of this month. Over on the cattle, up $1.37. So we did see some midday beef rebound today on top of yesterday's, about $1 gain overall for wholesale beef. That does have some looking for some hopes right now on this cattle market here. Keep in mind, we can't get too excited ourselves unless we actually close this August above its gap, which is actually 106.92. So for right now, we're still saying more of a sideways range here, possibly lower going into July and into August. Overall, as far as the cattle market, we will be watching the Friday afternoon cattle on feed numbers very closely. This should be a major change for these farm herds contracts here. If you have any questions about Allendale's research, expectations, trading recommendations, things like that, feel free to give us a call, 1-800-262-7538. This is Rich Nelson. Have a good trading day and a good trading week.